saw a commercial for the first one, I was like, oh, sick. Like, I don't know. It just pulled me in, so I tried it, and it was a really fun game. Like, it's really, I don't know, it's just a really fun game.
Just the thought of fighting evil monsters would make you turn you on, didn't it?
Oh, you did, I just heard on the radio that the original voice of Mickey Mouse died today.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah.
I mean, he's probably not done the voice for a while now, but still.
Oh, Daddy.
Okay, that's what we were all looking forward to. I'm pretty sure all of us are looking forward to a lot of those games, actually.
His wife actually does the voice to Minnie.
Oh, is she still alive, or did she die too?
Yeah. No, she was.
Yeah, she died too. No.
I can't take life without Mickey.
That sucks. Thanks for making me depressed, Anthony. I really needed that.
Way to go.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome.
Oh, you don't even want to hear what happened to Goofy when he caught the news.
He went into a gas station bathroom and just started beating off all over the walls. Oh.
He started a hoeing diversion.
Yep. Okay, moving forward in the podcast. Classic gaming, just a quick classic game that you thought was pretty interesting and that you got hooked on as if you were younger or whatever. And I included anything from N64 down, since you guys are about 6 years younger than I am. So you might have grown up on some different consoles. So.
Yeah, you old bastard.
Yeah.
No, we grew up on Nintendo and Super Nintendo.
Well,
yeah.
Some people might not have had a Nintendo. They might have moved straight to the Super Nintendo. I've talked to some people that are you guys' ages. Like, I didn't even have a Nintendo.
Is it original Nintendo?
God damn it!
Is it original Nintendo?
You only had a controller with 2 buttons.
What?
Is there only a B and an A?
What would I do with my other 8
fingers? There's no shoulder button?
All right, starting with Jeremy.
Hey, well, back in the day, there's even worse. You only had one button and a joystick.
It's Atari, yeah, true.
Not even that, dude. I was reading in the Game Informer about the Magnavox Odyssey. Dude had just like a twist knob.
Yeah.
And that was just, it was strictly for Pong. I'm like, are you fucking serious? But then again, he is the grandfather of gaming, so we can't really say shit.
Exactly.
The dude escaped from Hitler and came over here, did a whole bunch of shit for the Air Force, and started making video games.
And he made a twisty knob.
And he also invented Simon Says, that game with the colors and you hit the button.
You're freaking kidding me. He invented that too?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow,
it's
I didn't know that.
Did he give the guy, that one guy, the idea for Dungeons and Dragons too?
No, he didn't.
Snap.
If he did, he'd be like the genius of gaming.
It's a conspiracy. He's created every single game up till now.
He's the god of gaming.
All right. Go ahead and start with Jeremy on the classic gaming. Just one game quick that really kind of changed you as a gamer or influenced you as a gamer. Blah, blah, blah. You there? Jeremy!
You cut out. What happened?
Oh.
You cut out.
Just starting with you, one game that influenced you or as a young gamer, basically, for classic gaming.
Probably one of the ones that influenced me as a young gamer would have to be... well, I'm kind of tossing it up in my head. So I'm going to say both, but I'm only going to indulge on one. Is Super Mario Brothers 2. And Super Mario Brothers 2 I'm going to indulge on because that story is probably funnier. That is one of the games that, and this is back in the day when you go to a movie store or a video game rental store, you can only pretty much afford to rent one thing for 5 days and it costs so much money. You can't do these multiple packages and all that horse crap we have now.
That was.
Oh yeah.
So I'd have to say that game is probably one of the ones that I rented from the store around the corner from our house the most. I rented that like every other week to play it over and over again.
Jesus.
Dude, I would do the same thing.
You do know the story behind that game about how it's technically not a Mario game, right?
Yeah, Noki Noki Panic or something like that.
Yume Kojo Doki Doki Panic was a.
That's it, Doki Doki, that's it.
Yeah, Doki Doki Panic. It was it never was a Mario game. The story behind it is Super Mario Bros. 2 was supposed to be what we got as Lost Levels. And this is mainly for the podcast, which is in case podcast listeners, because you guys probably already know this. But the story behind it is the American division of Nintendo thought that what we got as Lost Levels was too hard for American gamers. So they took another game that was being made in Japan called Yume Kojo Doki Doki Panic and basically copy-pasted likenesses of the Mario characters over the 4 characters that were actually in the Japanese version of the game, and that became Super Mario Bros. 2 for us. So, funny enough, and I gotta agree with you. Super Mario Bros. 2, it was so different from 1 that it was a great game to really. I still play it today. It's one of those games I can't stop playing. I've got it on an emulator for my DS, and I still play it.
Oh yeah.
It's still a very good game.
You bastards with your emulators and your DSs.
Whatever. Get a flash card.
I don't believe in handheld gaming.
I find it kind of funny that seems to be a trend, because if you think about it, Nintendo never stopped doing that, because Star Fox Adventures wasn't supposed to be a Star Fox game at all.
Yeah. There's a lot of games that Nintendo said, oh, well, we'll just put one of our characters into it for the American audience, and boom, new game. It's
like Virtua Tennis.
Yeah.
Lazy bastards.
Like Virtua Tennis and Monopoly.
What about you, Randy? What was one game that kind of changed you as a gamer when you were younger? Or influenced you, or got you into games?
I grew up on...
What game touched your pee-pee when you were little?
Was it, like...
I think you cut out there for a second.
Really changed my mind.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, you cut out for a good period of time there. Still,
I did.
Yeah.
Start over on that one.
Hello?
Hello?
I can hear you now.
I can hear you.
Was like you, Anthony, and Jeremy. I grew up on the Nintendo as well, but I didn't really start playing video games until I got to the Genesis, and the game.
You cut out again.
Was Sonic.
Sonic?
Yeah, Sonic the Hedgehog, the very first one. And then after I found out that they came out with the second and third one.
Well, why don't you have an Xbox version of it?
Because I don't feel I have to, and besides, I have the first version on the Wii.
Oh.
Okay.
I'm a spoiled brat.
I've got them all on that GameCube compilation disc, too, so...
Oh, dude, I'm a spoiled brat. I got a PS3, Xbox 360, PS2 Slim, a Wii.
Bastard. I think you're the only one of us that actually has a PS2, right?
Okay.
That's a yes.
Okay.
That's a yes.
Yeah, I have a PS2.
You bastard.
What? It's not my fault that I have a PS2. It's not my fault that I know how to keep working it.
You mean a PS...
Force you keeping it.
No, I'm saying PS3.
Oh, yeah, I have a PS3.
I have a PS2. I'm not getting rid of mine ever. When it goes for me, we're classic gaming.
PS3.
It goes back on. It goes back onto into something that I was talking about earlier. Punch Out. It's one of my favorite. It's
Atari? Oh.
It's one of
fading
my.
lines to Maji's young throat.
Yeah, it's seriously. It's kind of sad. When I first got my Nintendo, one of the first games I got was a game called Ring King. I don't know if anybody remembers that game. It was
I don't.
It was a knockoff. It was basically kind of a knockoff of Punch Out, and it was fun. But then I got a hold of Punch Out, and I was like, "Holy balls! This is what a boxing game on Nintendo is supposed to be." And I remember spending hour after hour getting down every single rhythm for each of the guys that you were fighting, just so I could beat the game. I never beat the game. I'll admit to this day, I cannot beat Mr. Dream. I can't do it. I've tried. I cannot freaking beat Mr. Dream. I'm not talking Mike Tyson's Punch Out here. I'm talking Punch Out. The real Punch Out. I don't consider
maybe on the Wii version you could beat him.
Well, I'm actually looking. That's one reason that I'm looking forward to the Wii version is because it's